Hi, good morning. My name is Carls Janamisi Kaime from BSN 111K, and today I am going to conduct a health assessment of the skin. So in our pre-introductory phase, the first thing we need to do is to review the client's medical history or medical records. This is to have an initial information regarding the client that we are going to assess.
Wala ba yan dito kilimita na na yung bulalo eh. Mau ba yan na yung sabot ni mami? Niya karote, wala ka nagtupad sa yung sabot.
The next step that we are going to do is to know the scope of the assessment and prepare the equipment. This is important because we need to know the limitations of the assessment that we are going to conduct, and preparing the necessary equipment will make us be efficient as nurses. So the equipment that we are going to use during the assessment is gloves. This is used to protect ourselves from any microorganisms that will cause any diseases. Next is a centimeter ruler. This is used for measuring any lesions that we are going to assess or observe in the client. Next is a pen light. This is to effectively see any lesions that are present in the client. And lastly is a ball pen and a notebook. This is for noting all the information that we are going to get in the client during the assessment. And the last step that we need to do is to perform hand washing. So performing hand washing will decrease the spread of microorganisms that will cause any disease throughout the assessment. Okay, we are done with our pre-introductory phase. We can now proceed with our introductory phase. In our introductory phase, the first step is to greet the client politely, introduce ourselves, verify the client's identity, and ask how the client would like to be called. This is to gain the client's trust and full cooperation during the assessment. Next is to explain the procedure that we are going to conduct and how she or he can participate during the assessment, and also instruct him or her to wear examination gown if necessary. This is important because we don't want to see our client being clueless and alert during the assessment, and by wearing examination gown will make us easier or will make it easier for us to assess the client's different body parts. The next step is to provide the client the opportunity to ask questions or raise any concerns and establish rapport with the client. This is to ensure that the client doesn't have any concerns or any questions that we have to clarify, and also he will not have any hesitation to share any information regarding his complaints. And next is to provide clients privacy, comfort, and confidentiality. This is to prevent the client being embarrassed during the assessment. And lastly is to inquire if the client have current problems regarding the skin or any skin problems such as cyanosis, jaundice, pallor, etc. This is to give us an important information about potentially serious disease, especially to older adults that are vulnerable to skin breakdown. Hi, good morning ma'am. My name is Kyles, a nursing student, and for verification ma'am, I would like to ask you to state your full name. Ana Reyes. How about your birthday ma'am? January 28, 1998. And your age ma'am? 25, okay. So, ma'am, how would you like to be called? Okay, Ma'am Anna is okay for you. So, Ma'am Anna, today I am going to conduct an assessment of your skin, hair, and nails. So, I would like to ask a permission if it's alright to touch some parts of your body. It's okay, thank you. And now I would like you to wear this examination gown for me to have an easy access during the assessment. Is that alright, ma'am? Okay. So, Ma'am Anna, do you have any concerns or questions? Okay, none. So now, ma'am, I would give you privacy and we'll close the door and adjust the temperature and the lighting of the room. Okay, Ma'am Anna, before I start with the assessment, I would like to ask you some questions. Now, Ma'am Anna, do you have any current problems regarding your skin or any skin problems such as cyanosis, jaundice, pallor? None? Okay. How about in your family, Ma'am Anna? Do you have or does anyone in your family have history of skin problems or skin cancers? None. That's good. So, Mom, before I start with the assessment, I will just wear my gloves. Is that alright? Okay, thank you. So now, Ma'am Anna, I am going to start with the assessment. Now that we are done with our introductory phase, we can now proceed with our working phase. And the first step is to assess the skin. We have to inspect and palpate the skin, noting its color, moisture, temperature, texture, mobility and turgor, and lesions, if any, in a cephalocaudal or proximodistal manner. This is important because this will give us important information about potentially serious diseases, and doing the right pattern in assessing will prevent the client in changing positions frequently. So the first thing that we need to assess the skin is its color and skin integrity. We have to inspect for color variations such as redness, pallor, cyanosis, or jaundice, while noting for any odors emanating from the skin. Also, we have to check the skin integrity. We use the Braden scale to predict pressure stories or push tool to document the degree of skin if any skin breakdown is noted. This is to know if the skin is intact and healthy and there are no reddened areas. The next is the moisture. We have to palpate the skin to assess moisture, check under skin folds and in unexposed areas. This is to know if the client has diaphoresis or dehydration. Next is temperature. We have to palpate the skin to assess temperature and use the dorsal surfaces of hands to palpate the skin. This is to know if the client's temperature is warm and too hot or too cold. Then using the dorsal part of our hands will give us accurate results. Next is our texture. We have to palpate skin to assess texture. Use palmar surface of 3 middle fingers to palpate skin texture. This is to know if the skin is smooth and even or rough, flaky, and dry. Next is the mobility and turgor. We have to lift a fold of the skin, noting the ease of which it lifts up to assess for mobility. Noted the speed of which the skin returns into place after pinching to assess turgor. This is to know if the skin will easily and immediately returns to its original position once pinched. Next is lesions and edema. We have to inspect for any lesions with noting its location, distribution, arrangement, and configuration, including its color, shape, size, and discharge. If present, measure the lesion with a centimeter ruler. This next is to examine lesions if present following the ABCD method and palpate the skin to detect any edema. We have to use our thumbs to press down on the skin of the feet or ankles to check for edema. This is to assess characteristic of any lesions. Also, normally there should be no edema in the body. Next is the assessing the hair and nails. We have to first inspect the scalp and hair for general color and condition, check for any depression of the scalp, and then separate the hair at 1-inch intervals from the scalp and inspected and then palpated the hair and scalp for cleanliness, dryness, or oiliness, nevy, lesions, and parasites. We have to wear gloves if lesions are suspected or if hygiene is poor. And then inspect the amount and distribution of scalp, body, axillae, and pubic hair. Look for unusual growth elsewhere on the body. Then inspect nail grooming and cleanliness. Inspect fingernails and toenails, noting the nail color and shape. Look for any clubbing, lesion, or cyanosis. We have to also palpate the nails to assess texture and consistency, noting whether the nail plate is attached to the nail bed. Then, lastly, is to test capillary refill in nail beds by pressing the nail tip briefly and watching for color change. This is to know if there are abnormal findings in the hair and nails which will harm the client. So now, Ma'am Anna, I am going to assess your skin, and the first thing I need to do is to check or inspect for skin discoloration and your skin's integrity. Now, may I ask if I can touch your hands? Thank you. It seems that there is no discoloration in your skin and it's good and normal. Now, may I ask if I can touch some parts of your body to check some reddened areas for pressure source. Okay, thank you. So basically, I am inspecting for any reddened areas in your pressure areas. Okay. So there is no presence of reddened areas in your pressure area of your body. Now, the only thing that I have observed is that you have a mole in your cheek, and let me just measure it. 0.1 centimeter in length and 0.1 centimeter in width. Now it is flat and has a black color. May I ask if you have this already since you were born, or this just popped out recently? It's been with you since you were born. Okay. And now let me check for your skin's moisture and temperature using my dorsal surface of my hand. You have a warm temperature. It's not too hot or cold, and there is no profuse sweating in your skin and no dehydration, and it's good. Now let me palpate your arms to check for your texture. Okay. So the texture is good and normal. Then let me check for your mobility and trigger. I will just pinch your arm or hands. Okay. So everything is good because the moment I pinch it a little, it immediately goes back to its original position. Now let me check for any lesions or edema. So I will be going to use my thumb to check for your any edema in your ankles. So mom, I have observed that you have a scar in your knee, and may I ask if when did you get it, or where did you get it? Okay, you get it when you were a child while playing in the playground. Okay, let me measure it also. Centimeter in length and 0.5 centimeter in width. Now I'm done with assessing your skin. Let's proceed with your hair and nails. So mom, I will be going to check your hair and scalp now. So basically, I am inspecting and palpating for any lesions or parasite nevi that is present in your hair and scalp. Let me check at the back. So overall, you don't have any presence of parasites or lesions that I have observed in your hair and scalp. Your hair is also not dry and oily, and it's thick, which is good, and the distribution of the hair is equal, and it is symmetrical and not asymmetrical. It's good. Now let me check for your nails. Your nails is good, it's clean, and it's pinkish, and no clubbing or any lesions or cyanosis that is present, and it's good. And also the nail plate is attached in the nail bed in a 160 degrees. And now let me check for your capillary refill. So capillary refill is normal because it goes back in its original position once I pinch it, and it's also pink. Now that I'm done with the assessment, I am now going to summarize all the information that I have gotten during the assessment. So upon summarizing my observations throughout the assessment is that your skin is healthy, your hair is also healthy, and also the nails. The only things that I have observed is the mole in your cheek, which is flat with a black color, and its measurement is 0.1 centimeter both in length and width, and also your scar in your right knee with a measurement of 2 centimeter in length and 0.5 centimeter in width. Now I am going to refer you to our dermatologist for it to be checked and for you to be given advice regarding the proper care of your mole and your scar. Now, my only advice is that you take your medicines and vitamins every day if you have one, and have a healthy and balanced diet, and also drink plenty of fluid to prevent any dehydration, and as much as possible you do some exercises, even just a little. And that's all for our assessment today, and thank you very much for your cooperation.